Hey guys, our decline average picker, and I guess welcome back to my let me try to figure out this pick making thing series. So not a whole lot more work has been done to this last night. I sort of meant to and I just didn't. I tried to polish on it a little bit, take some of the edges off using this Dremel bit. It's a fairly common one. It comes in a lot of those sets of Dremel stuff you get. And but you can't really tell. I just wanted to give it as a test to see how it was going to do for just some quick polishing on it, and it did all right. You do have to be a little careful with it because as it's spinning, it is very prone to snagging. So you just want to be very careful. So I think what I'm going to do is try to go ahead and put handles on, and I'm going to use popsicle sticks because popsicle sticks are pretty easy to come by, and you get to buy fudge sickles and eat the fudge sickle and get a popsicle stick out of it. So for every two that you eat, you can feasibly make a pick, and that seems like a good option. You can see I just kind of marked off the center point on it, and I don't have any great plan for trying to align it other than to try to align it probably by hand. I'm gonna put it on, or try to, using JB Weld. Honestly, I don't know if this is the best idea. So this is just a two-part epoxy. It's pretty common and easy to get. I've got some other stuff that I think would work better. And I really like the pinning effect when people do the pins through them, but that's a whole other skill set I don't want to have to learn. But I think this is pretty common enough. And my plan is actually to put the handles on and then grind down the metal to meet the handle, and hopefully I'm not going to kill into that popsicle stick too much, and it'll just get any cuts will be minor enough that it'll all clean up later. So that's another reason I'm probably going to use the JB Weld to put it on. I know it's going to hold, and this stuff can take some high temperatures, so if I'm going to put these handles on and then go back to the grind, I want the epoxy to be able to take some heat. Again, I don't know if this is the best idea. It would seem, my gut instinct is that it's easier to do it than trying to hold it all and mark it off and then grind this down and hope I match this size. It would seem like it's just going to be a little bit easier to get the size on there and grind to match it, as opposed to trying to mark it and grind to match it. But it is making me a little nervous to do it, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's the plan. It's going to take a good bit for this stuff. This is the quick dry version, but it still takes at least 4 hours, and I have sanded on this stuff before, and it's not really, yeah, you want to give it more than 4 hours to set. The longer you can give it, the better. So the next update for this is probably going to come in a while, but it's not going to matter because I'm going to attach it to the end of this video anyway. So that's the plan. We'll see you guys in a bit. Hey guys, so a little update here. So I intentionally did a few things with the JB Weld, and if you've never, just because some people may never worked with this stuff before. So this is the fast dry stuff, like I said, and this is only probably 15 minutes after mixing some up, and you can see it's already, well, maybe you can see, but it's quite hard, but it is still spongy-ish. I just use one of these toothpick things because I happen to have that laying around to mix it with. So this was 3 dabs of each of the two. So I just do a dab, I do a dab, I do a dab, 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 and then you mix it together because it's a one-for-one, one-to-one kind of epoxy stuff. And you can see here where I didn't really worry about mixing it all up because I knew I was kind of overdoing it. When I'm just filling in construction holes, I tend to just use one tiny dab of each one, and that's usually more than enough. And this was 3 was more than enough. Would have easily done both sides of the pick, but I decided just to do one side of the pick and then I'll do the other. I just wanted to show that to you though, but I'm going to take this outside now and dump it because the fumes are quite bad. Okay, so this is what we have got now. Yes, it looks like crap. Now, I was intentionally very sloppy with this, and that was just because, I could be. And I just figured I'd show that you can work with this stuff. And so if it is sloppy and you get a lot of run over, yeah, it's no big deal. Now, normally I would not have dried this on a paper towel. I did so intentionally to show you what would happen. Normally what I probably would have done, I wouldn't have had all this on here. I've been much neater about applying it. I've worked with JB Weld before. And I would have just made a little stand, you could even just prop up a couple books or something, and I would have let it kind of dry like that. But I wanted to show you what happens if you just stick it on a paper towel and toss it outside. And again, I'm not too worried about it because this stuff it'll clean up. I mean, it's hard, but it's not impossible to deal with. So there we go. Gosh, that is ugly. I knew I was giving myself more work. I might have given myself a little more work than I intended to in doing it this messy. So I think, though, well, we can take that off anyway. So yeah, I think we'll go get this cleaned up now and take a look and see what we can get. Okay, so this is really only 2 or 3 minutes later. I just took it back there. I tried both of these, probably only for about a minute each, and spun it about 15,000 RPM. So I wasn't spinning it near the speed I needed to do actually the cutting. That was more in the 25 to 30-ish range. That's from a suggestion on Dremel for cutting stainless steel. But yeah, I cranked it down to about 15. Neither one of these seemed to work any better than the other. They both worked fine. And you can see just a few minutes. I mean, literally, this is only like 2 or 3 minutes of work. It's already looking better. So I just wanted to show you that it's not going to take a whole lot to get this thing cleaned up. So the next part of the plan, so tonight I am either going to make sure this is nice and cleaned off and apply more JB Weld and let it cure overnight and then grind the excess metal off, or wait till tomorrow morning, grind the excess metal off, and then JB Weld this on. Kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, but I know tonight I'm going to go ahead and just finish cleaning this up so it actually looks fairly decent. But I wanted to show you it doesn't take a whole lot of work. The stuff holds really well if you've never worked with it before, and you can work and scrape and clean it without too much effort. Okay. Anyway, guys, you have a good night, and yeah, I will try to get something up tomorrow. All right. Bye.